kindly invite Kürşat Ceylan, co-founder of WeWalk, to the stage. Please welcome him.
Hello, everyone. Can I hear the voice? So excited. I gave many speeches in many different platforms, including United Nations, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, in many different places. But today, here is so exciting, meeting such a young audience. And actually, they invited me to talk about inclusion and accessibility. Inclusivity doesn't limit it with disabled groups, communities. But as a blind person, today maybe I can mostly focus on this group. And I can share that this topic is so sensitive to talk on it. Actually, it's not, but people feel like that, talking about disabled people, oh, I don't want to break their hearts, etc. They are so kind. Should I say blind or visually impaired, visual disabled? It's so confusing. There are many terminologies, wordings, etc. Because everyone is trying to be politically correct. But you know what? I don't care being politically correct because I believe that, if needed, of course, I can be the most politically correct person about this topic. But actually, I believe that trying to be politically correct in this topic is holding us back to talk about the real problems and find the solutions. That's why I will skip the terminology and want to talk about philosophy and what we have experiencing in our lives. Philosophy, while we are, it's not just a wording. It's not just a word, sitting at the table and talk. It's not just like that. Philosophy impacts all of our lives. Just as an example, in 20th century, people believe that this is a medical issue. And that's why they developed medical approach to solve these problems of the disabled groups. And they believed and they advocate that we are, as a whole human being, we are super, we don't have any problems, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, you are blind and you have some problem and we have to correct you. You have some, you have some illness. But yes, I'm not a romantic person, I'm blind. And if you want to talk about the medical perspective, yes, I have an illness. But when I left from the clinic, I have to be in the social life. And medical approach shouldn't have impact on my life. And that's why in 21st century, academic literature, showed that a new approach, social approach has started to improve. And that's why, so what social approach says, this is not an illness, this is a difference. As a human being, we have all our own differences. Some of them are long, some of them are short. Some of them are fat, some of them are thin, some of them are blind. We are human beings. And actually, these philosophies affect whole our lives. While I was, I'm blind from birth, and during my childhood, I was always in the playground. Thanks to my parents, I have never felt myself to be restricted. And that's why with my brother, he's also blind, we enjoyed as much as we can during my childhood. And when I was 7 years old, I left from my house to attend blind, primary school for blind children. It was a boarding school. And whether or not you are blind, it's really challenging moment to leave from your home while you were 7 years old. And after this moment, I managed all my personal needs. Can you imagine? You are 8 years old. You have to manage your own wardrobe. You have to manage your bed, etc. You are responsible from your own all your needs. And during those years, it was difficult. But right now, when I turn back, what I have seen, it contributed me a lot. And I learned how to be independent in my life. And after that, I attended inclusive high school education. And when I go to high school, what they told me, I'm sorry, our school is not suitable for you. We cannot accept you. So because of the medical approach, philosophy, because they believe that I have a problem, this is a problem, and that's why I have to go something different. I have to go somewhere else. But no, I didn't give up, and I struggled for that. And then I started to study in this high school, and I got university entrance exam. And most probably, most of you are aware of our university entrance exam. How competitive is it? And each year, more than 2 million students take this exam. And I was among the top 5,000 students this university entrance exam. And after that, after my graduation, I started to develop some solutions, technologies for visually impaired people. And for the last 5 years, I have been focusing on VWalk technology. And together with VWalk, we focus on enhancing the mobility of visually impaired people. We all witness half-fast technology every single day. We even speak about self-driving cars, drones, and we are even speaking about going to the Mars. But as a blind person, when I go out, I still have to rely on my traditional white cane, which is just a plain stick to get around. And it was just before the inception of VWalk Smart Cane. I was in New York to give a speech at the United Nations. While I was going to my hotel, I was using my traditional white cane with my one hand, and I was holding my smartphone with the other to check the GPS direction. And at the same time, I had to pull my luggage with these 3 fingers. It was a really distracting moment for me, managing all those things at the same time. And not surprisingly, all of in this chaos, managing white cane, listening, navigation, pulling luggage, and at the end, I bumped into a pole. So that's why you can see some scars on my front head. And this is not only my problem. There are more than 250 million visually impaired people all around the world. And that's why we created the patented smart cane technology. It detects obstacles and alerts its users through haptic feedback, gives turn-by-turn navigation, informs you about restaurants, cafes, stores while you are passing by. So we integrate visually impaired people with the city. We are not just taking visually impaired people from A to B. We are taking visually impaired people from home to social life. And also, we know that we always have to iterate our solutions. That's why we have a strong R&D pipeline. We have a strong R&D partnerships. VWalk was selected as a Microsoft
Test
AI
1,
for
2,
Good
3.
company, and
İngilizce
we are
kanalı,
developing the
İngilizce
AI
çeviri buradan dinlenecek.
aspect of the WeWalk together with Microsoft.
Test
And
1, 2, 3.
also,
İngilizce kanalı.
we are partnering with Imperial College London to enhance the mobility of visually impaired people
Test
with
1, 2,
computer
3.
vision technology. And also, WeWalk selected as the best invention by Time Magazine and Startup of the Year by Amazon. And also covered in many different
Test 1,
news
2,
channels,
3. İkinci
CNN,
kanaldan
BBC, Fox,
konuşuyorum.
Bloomberg.
İngilizce kanalı.
They all make
Test
us
1, 2, 3.
so happy
İngilizce çeviri
because
buradan
WeWalk
dinlenecek.
is not just a technology.
İngilizce
We
çeviri
know
kanalı.
that
Test
if we are talking
1,
about
2, 3,
inclusivity,
4, 5,
we
6,
cannot
7,
just
8, 9, 10.
develop technology.
İngilizce
We have
çeviri
to
kanalı.
raise awareness around this
İkinci
topic.
kanal. Test
This
1,
is
2,
our
3, 4,
responsibility
5,
as well.
6, 7, 8,
And
9, 10.
We also know that what really matters at the end of the day, the feedback that we got from our users. And we have a short video from our users. Is it working? Voice? Is it not working?
If you give somebody,
Again?
if you give somebody the right
Yes, but no voice.
we walk that enable me to be independent, like I've traveled all over the country by my.
Can we hear the voice, please?
Öyle.
If you give somebody the right tools, like for me, we walk, like that enable me to be independent, like I've traveled all over the country by myself, and I can't see anything.
It's so important to make people realize that they are not limited and that everyone, all of us, has the power.
You know what? I'm gonna go out and get out there and do something, find a new place or whatever it is. You don't hesitate as much. You kind of feel more at ease. So I think it's really nice to have. It opened the world for things that we could never do before.
I can't say enough about what WeWalk has allowed me to do. It has given me back my independence. It has given me back the freedom to walk on my own, feel comfortable doing so, and not having to hold on to someone.
We devoted ourselves to provide equal opportunities for everyone. And we have to work for this vision together. It's not just our problem, it's not just our responsibility. But, you know, most of the time, while we are talking about inclusivity, you will hear that, okay, but, you know, we cannot do something for you. Okay, I believe inclusivity, but, you know, for example, we are developing smartphone with a touch screen. How can we adapt for blind people? How come it happens? We can't do, sorry for that. No, it can be even applicable, accessibility and inclusion, such edge cases. You know, right now I'm using my smartphone, and most of you don't know how we are using white cane and smartphone. So it has a voiceover, and it reads all the things to me. And when I touch the screen, it reads all the things. Even such solutions can be accessible and inclusive. And that's why later, you know, tomorrow, you will have responsibilities in companies. You will have responsibilities in decision-making points. That's why you have to be advocate of inclusivity to provide equal opportunity to everyone. Thank you for listening to me.